Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So you may have noticed that this is one of my favorite places to record the Peter Dislike shows. It's outdoors, get a lot of good lighting, and more importantly, it's away from car traffic. A lot of people like to idle their engines. I don't know why. When it's 60, 70 degrees outside, I don't get why people idle their engines, right? I mean, I could kind of understand it when it gets to be 80, 90, 100 degrees. I can kind of understand it when it starts to go below 40. But on a good day like this, right? It's not windy or anything. If it were windy, I can kind of see it, or you don't want to open your windows. Maybe. But 2 years ago, I woke up one day to see gas prices at $7 a gallon. I was living in Seattle, Washington. Gas prices are usually higher there than over here in Phoenix anyhow. And then Putin had just invaded Ukraine, and we stopped importing oil from Russia. What's really interesting is that there are other car components that we continue to import from Russia, especially palladium and a bunch of the other strategic metals. We never stopped that. But we worried about their gold reserves. It was just, I remember laughing about that. That we were worried about Russia using their gold reserves, and yet there's this other metal that we continue to buy from it because we're so dependent on it. That's the problem, right? And I think EVs probably will use even more of that stuff. I'm excited to see. I remember thinking, if we do something to control the markets on gold and palladium, that would be a great time to buy. And I did buy some gold. I'm looking to see the right time to buy palladium right now. I think it's a good price. I'm just so busy with my art projects that I haven't really taken money to invest there. Anyways, I was really disappointed because I saw gas prices go to $7 a gallon. I remember thinking, great, maybe people won't idle their cars anymore. I go out to record a Peter Dislike show, and sure enough, it's punctuated by all these idling engines. Now, 4 years ago, when I learned that we have to keep 6 feet away from each other, I remember thinking this would be a great opportunity to educate people about food allergies. You know, I have a difficult time going to events, right? We just had the Game On convention where we got to mingle with board game vendors and all that. And sitting down to a table with games, it's going to be tricky because people are grabbing pizzas and hot dogs and all that. And when I saw 4 years ago people keeping 6 feet away from each other, I thought after this is done, it would be easier to educate. Well, I think it's even harder nowadays. People are extremely defensive. When you force people to wear a mask for so many years and social distance, and finally they get some liberation from that, the last thing they want is to learn more of that stuff, right? It's really frustrating that we didn't get our lesson from back then, right? I also thought people would care about their health a lot more after what had gone on, and that has not happened. Well, more recently, I got some more disappointment. You see, over the last 2 years, my car insurance rates have gone up a lot, right? Nothing of my doing, and every day I go out and I tell myself I better not get into an accident, because with the rates up so much already, the last thing I need is to also have an accident on my record. And I naively thought other people would feel that way too. Well, I think the roads are less safe than they ever have been over the last few years, right? But I think eventually people will have to be forced to do all these things, right? I think right now people are charging up their credit cards to afford idling their car, to afford all the accidents, to afford getting sick. Eventually they won't be able to do that anymore. And so I think a good Peter Shit show could wake us up, right? I'm really hoping for that. This is, after all, you know, I often wake up with good habits from Peter Shit shows, right? With the pandemic, I did eat a lot better with, you know, driving safer and all that, and relationship things. Those tough times have been really good on me. I gotta say that. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.